Dear listeners, good evening, dear listeners. In the last week, Amy team launched the project of Mauritanian English bloggers. This project is another opportunity opening endless horizons for the youth to create their blogs that reflect their own visions towards the local and universal actualities. By the way, we attract the attention of our dear listeners and members of both Peace Newspaper and the Association of Mauritanian Moderate Youth that this new project is theirs. Amy team created this interactive space for you to post your blogs on the group Facebook page. So, dear online audience, we're waiting for your innovations and personal achievements. Remember that all what you need is to create your blogs and send us their links to share them with Mauritanian English bloggers on the Facebook page. Today's episode of Friday Pulse is a special in terms of content and purpose. It will discuss the importance of blogging in the life of Mauritanian youth. Let's ask Mohamed Bouya about why should Mauritanian youth blog.
Thank you very much, Abdul Talib, for the interesting question. The first thing that should come to the mind of a young man or woman who decide to blog is that he is recording history and a testimony that will change and enlighten the coming generations. Young people may not think that what they are writing has a power to change, that it can change the life of a simple person to take him from the darkness of misery to the glittering light of hope. They should not forget the difficult life of a person they see in the street. They should not close their eyes when they see dirty streets. They should not turn a deaf ear to the suffering of their co-citizens. They should not put their fingers in their ears when a rusty bus passes by. They should not forget that people drink dirty water brought to them in tanks never cleaned. They should not forget that the majority of children do not have spaces in which they can play. And they should not forget that they will always want to play even if they become adults. They should not forget that there are people who cannot buy medicaments and that they still die from Middle Ages diseases in the hospital. They should not forget that their neighbor sometimes sleep without having dinner or lunch. They should not forget to write that they love each other because they do. They should not forget that their sisters are married against their wills without an education. And they should not forget that they are circumcised and that they are afraid of dying from childbirth. They should not forget that the person has to have an education at a certain age. They should not forget that they are born free and they have the freedom to pursue life and happiness. They should not forget to record that a nation without equality is a nation without senses walking in the dark. They should not forget. They should not forget. Remembering and writing can change your life and the life of many. And thank you.
Thank you. A very touching answer laden with facts. Thank you, Mohamed Bouya. You know the importance of bloggers in the lives of people. Let's ask Al Sheikh about how to record live through blogging.
I think to record live through blogging is to be alive in nowadays world. The world today has become a planetary village due to the new technological revolution. This transformation has been affecting intimately all aspects of life. One of these great transformations or shifting positions is the digital space, the internet revolution, including blogging or recording the everyday life in a reflective and retrospective way, which will create bonds and ties among thousands of people around one idea or article, even though many people may not agree with it. Creating a blog is to step up towards reaching a new phase of life through chronicling and taking hands into the collective process of writing and reading, sharing, or explaining your standpoint. Nowadays, the world necessitates in its speed a new sophisticated way of transmitting the information. In this regard, Mauritania is not and should never be an exception from the rule. when all young people share and interact spiritually without being required to present physically, interact beyond any geographical boundaries, for geography today has become imaginary or cultural rather than conceptual displacement. Through blogging, life is no longer limited within the borders of individual isolation or solitude. It's to live for yourself, for your community, your nation, and your country, the culture, the society you belong to. To create a blog is to envisage your life and draw your own country, from pen to paper, from individual to collective, from local to universal. And thank you.
Wonderful answer. To the point that I couldn't distinguish, is it a prose or a poetry? Thank you very much, Ali Sheikh. The third question is, what does the concept of blogging mean for the growing generation? The answer of this question will be with Muhammad Yahya.
That's really good question. Let me tell you that blogging is a necessity nowadays, not only for youth, but also for people in general. Blogging is a way of sharing one's experience with other people inside or outside his or her society. Blogging is a modern way of reaction through which ideas can be communicated and opinions be shared massively. Blogging is means of universalizing ways of thinking and looking for solutions. Unfortunately, the concept of blogging is not yet understood by many people in our country because of computer illiteracy that cripples a great deal of our creative and critical minds. Nomadism is still strongly alive in our nation, which hampers the importance of the new technology despite the advent of the internet to the country 10 years ago. As a young Mauritanian, I think that it's time to raise awareness on the importance of blogging, and that should be done through fighting against computer literacy and calling on youth to take part in the actual digital openness. In other words, it's time to benefit from what's commonly known as cloud technology. Thank you.
Perfect and inspiring answers. Thank you, AMI team. Thank you, dear respectful members, on your attentive listening to your AMI's episodes. Till next Friday, Palace. Abdul Muntalib, wish you having a nice time.